And we have come to the end with Hellraiser Revelations. Now, this is where I check tomorrow and I've lost like 10 subscribers or more. Now hear me out. This has a 2.6 on IMDb. I remember when I watched it back when it came out. I don't know how long ago it was now, but it was years ago now. I remember kind of just being fixated on the fact that the new Pinhead looked so terrible. And he does. But honestly, this movie is miles better than Hellworld. I'm sorry. This is actually okay. Like, I didn't hate this movie. Like, this movie is decimate. I know a lot of people are just like, oh, Jesus, this guy has zero taste. He fucking likes everything. It's not true. Some of that might be true. But I don't just like everything. I might have shitty taste. I don't know. I've always just taken films for what they are. Like, I take them at face value. I don't judge The Lord of the Rings and Hellraiser Revelations the same way. Like, one had, a $500 million budget in the end, and one had, like a $50,000 budget or whatever. And so I don't know. I don't rate all films the same. And my expectations with this film, yes, I know the Lord of the Rings wasn't $500 million, but it wasn't damn far off. I know it says it's 180, but it ain't. Not even close. He went way over budget. He spent that on the first one. Anyway, we're not talking about the Lord of the Rings, although I should be because it's amazing. I went into this film with the worst expectations ever. And I guess with that, and it was actually like not bad. Like, it's not great. I thought it was fine. And here's another thing with this film. Inferno, Hellseeker, Deader, Hellworld are not really Hellraiser movies. They were scripts that were once something else and taken and had Pinhead and whatnot thrown in it to make it a Hellraiser film. This was clearly written to be a Hellraiser movie, and it sticks to the Hellraiser kind of setup of previous, like, original installments, like the first and the second and the third. That's what this film plays off of. Is there some bad things in it? Sure, absolutely. Pinhead, and I think Pinhead is where this film gets the majority of its hate, honestly. Yes, there's other things. Yes, I get that. But I feel like if Doug Bradley played Pinhead in this movie and it was exactly the same, just Doug Bradley looking like Doug Bradley Pinhead, I think this movie would be liked all right. I think it would get as much love as something like Deader or Hellseeker. I don't feel like it's that much less quality than those. It's just Pinhead looks awful. He really does. And it's not even the makeup so much as just the guy that they picked to do it. The face just was too round. It just looks very odd. And not because it's just a different person, but because the person they picked just didn't have the face to pull the makeup off. Because I feel like the makeup on the other Cenobites, especially the faux Pinhead, the one one of the main characters becomes, he's like a fake Pinhead, and he has some of his skin's missing. He has pins haphazardly put into his face, and I thought that makeup looked great. And I thought that the rest of the Cenobites actually looked really good. And a lot of the gore, the girl's neck gets ripped open, the guy has no skin, like Frank. All that looked actually really good. And this film itself actually looks good. It looks like it has better production value than the last four. I tell you that shit right now. This actually looks cinematic. Problems is the acting is uneven. Reactions to certain situations are silly and stupid and unrealistic. So that hurts the film. But as far as like a story point, I remember when I pressed play on this, I was expecting it to be dog shit. Because I remember watching this, and I think Pinhead was just what threw me off. I kept seeing him, and I was like, oh my God, he looks so bad. I can't even take this movie seriously. But when I threw it on tonight, I was sitting there and I was watching the opening, and I was like, this isn't a bad opening. This is kids that are being kids. Their interaction with each other is realistic and kind of funny, and they go down to Mexico and they get in trouble, and the kid is making the other kid kill for him so that he can get his skin back like in the other one, and then he ends up taking the kid's skin like Frank does with his brother, and so on and so forth. Like, there's a lot of elements here that are cherry picked from the Hellraiser installments, especially, as I said, in the original ones. And I think, with some better acting and Doug Bradley as Pinhead, I think this would have been a fairly good movie. Like, it's not bad. And this is written by the same guy who just wrote the newest Hellraiser Judgment, which I did enjoy. But that had a much better Pinhead, not Pumpkinhead. Jesus. And I don't know. I guess I'm crazy on this one, and maybe because I went in with low expectations. 2.6 is bullshit, because I think like Hellworld has like a 4 point something. Hellworld to me is a 2.6. This is a 4 point something. This is like a 4.5, 4.7, which a lot of people would be like, oh my God, it's awful. Yeah, it's not great, and I'm not saying it's good, but I feel like it deserves a better score than it does. Judging this film, not solely, I know people, as I said, have bigger problems with it, but basing it solely off of Pinhead, I don't know, that's pretty weak, man. And as I said, like, there's reaction scenes, like when the kid shoots the dad in the stomach, and almost no one reacts for like a good 2 to 4 seconds, and then the daughter jumps up and is like, what the hell did you do? And it's like, he just shot a guy in the living room out of nowhere with a shotgun. Everyone in that fucking room would have shit their pants, screamed, ran out of the room, tried to tackle him, something. But they all just stood there like, oh my God, what just happened? Oh my God. They acted like someone fucking broke a bottle or something. That's the reaction they had. It's silly. So I can understand why people are like, oh, this is so bad. But as I said, I take things how they are. I take the story elements. I take certain scenes. I take certain things, and I judge them all accordingly. Like, does this work? Would this have worked better if this was in place? I don't know. I guess I just judge movies differently than a lot of people do. This dad at the end, wow. Not only does his wife find out that he's cheating on her, but then because he's so vengeful and wants to kill the kid himself, he does so, and that ends up costing his wife not only her life, but a sentence in hell for eternity. Now, as far as the whole them being able to die once they're in Pinhead's domain, that just doesn't make any sense to me. What? They have the ability to die once inside there, because he doesn't just come into their living room in this, he's actually pulling them in to hell or whatever that place is. And when he kills the kid, he's like, oh, now you've taken away our ability to have fun with him. Paraphrasing, obviously. And then he's like, well, take me. And he's like, no, you're about to die, I can't take you. And it's like, wait a minute, so you can die in there? So you torture them only to a certain extent? If you're in hell and you're being tortured mercilessly to an extent we can't even comprehend for eternity, how do they not die from age? And how do they not die from the torture? I mean, your body can only sustain so much. So is that a limbo area where it's still that gray area where people can die? So once they're in there, should they just kill themselves, or would that suicide then put them in hell so that Pinhead would get them anyway? did that kid get killed and go somewhere else? I mean, he was bad, so doesn't he die and go to hell? Can't Pinhead get him there? Or does he get a free ticket to heaven because he was murdered? There's so many questions. So that just didn't make any sense to me. I don't get that. But anyway, yeah. So, and then that daughter, Jesus Christ, man, she is having a rough night. Not only does she get seduced by her brother, she just has this desire to feel pretty, and he makes her feel pretty, and he takes advantage of her in her weakened state, and then she fucking finds out her dad's cheating on her mom, and then she finds, sees her dad get shot, then she sees her mom get dragged out to hell, then she's taken into hell and shown these monsters and all this stuff. Then she's brought back to the house when her father's dying. Everyone else is missing. She's going to have to explain this. That girl, no fucking way. And then she picks up the box and he's like, once you've, had enough of this or whatever, you can call us up and we'll torture you. I don't understand that part of it either. Like, is that supposed to be sensual? Like, pain is going to be pleasurable, but I thought it was like supposed to be painful. Like, you're supposed to be hating it. You're supposed to be in hell. You're supposed to be... Like, you're not supposed to be enjoying it, right? So why would she ever want that? So I don't know. Too many questions. Anyway, I've rambled enough. Yes, dislike. I'll have like 50 fucking dislikes for this one for even giving one word of like any kind of acceptance or praise or anything to this movie that's so unbelievably hated. But you know what? That's what my channel's all about. I'm all about being the odd man out, voicing a different opinion. I mean, fucking kind of world would it be if we all had the exact same opinion on every movie and every situation and every topic? It'd be boring as shit. So, Hellraiser Revelations, not as bad as people say, in my opinion. People will disagree. Oh well. All right, Hellraiser is over. It is time for me to go get to my Slasher Sunday watch. Anyway, guys, as always, thank you for watching. And if there is any fans of this movie, at least, and then when I say fans, I don't mean like, oh my God, I thought it was the best Hellraiser movie ever, or this guy's a better Pinhead, or any of that stuff. I mean, if that's what you think, that's awesome. I don't give a shit. That's cool. But if you are like me and you're like, it wasn't that bad, Jesus Christ, people are insane, please let me know. Let me know I'm not completely alone, that this is okay. And remember, I said it was okay. Don't be quoting, posting my shit and video, be like, look at this video. Do you think this is the greatest Hellraiser? All right, I'm done. Bye.